Another day, another story with your friendly AI lawyer. Facts. The case involves the Constitutionality of Republic Act No. 9522, RA 9522, which adjusts the country's archipelagic baselines and classifies the baseline regime of nearby territories. Congress passed Republic Act No. 3046, RA 3046, in 1961, demarcating the maritime baselines of the Philippines as an archipelagic state. In March 2009, Congress amended RA 3046 by enacting RA 9522 to comply with the terms of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS 3. Petitioners, including professors of law, law students, and a legislator, challenged the constitutionality of RA 9522. This is on the grounds that it reduces Philippine maritime territory and opens the country's waters to maritime passage by all vessels and aircraft, undermining Philippine sovereignty and national security. Respondents defend RA 9522 as the country's compliance with UNCLOS 3, preserving Philippine territory over the KIG or Scarborough Shoal. Issues. The court must determine whether petitioners possess locus standi to bring this suit and whether the writs of certiorari and prohibition are the proper remedies to test the constitutionality of RA 9522. On the merits, the court must decide whether RA 9522 is constitutional and valid. Ruling. The court holds that petitioners possess locus standi as citizens, and the writs of certiorari and prohibition are proper remedies to test the constitutionality of statutes. On the merits, the court finds no basis to declare RA 9522 unconstitutional, as it is a statutory tool to demarcate the country's maritime zones and continental shelf under UNCLOS 3, not to delineate Philippine territory. UNCLOS 3 has nothing to do with the acquisition or loss of territory, and baselines laws such as RA 9522 are enacted by UNCLOS 3 states parties to mark out specific base points along their coasts from which baselines are drawn to measure the breadth of the maritime zones and continental shelf. Discussion on legal doctrines applied. The case demonstrates the use of baselines laws to delimit the extent of maritime zones and continental shelves in accordance with UNCLOS 3. The baselines are drawn from the outermost islands and drying reefs of the archipelago, and do not play a role in the acquisition, enlargement, or diminution of territory. RA 9522 is used to draw the baselines in conformity with UNCLOS 3, and its use of the regime of islands framework to determine the maritime zones of the KIG and Scarborough Shoal is not inconsistent with the Philippines' claim of sovereignty over these areas. The court notes that the Philippines exercises sovereignty over the body of water lying landward of the baselines, including the airspace over it and the submarine areas underneath. The demarcation of the baselines enables the Philippines to delimit its exclusive economic zone, reserving solely to the Philippines the exploitation of all living and non-living resources within such a zone. The court emphasizes that the absence of an UNCLOS 3 compliant baselines law would weaken the country's case in any international dispute over Philippine maritime space and invite seafaring powers to exploit the resources in the waters and submarine areas around the archipelago. Therefore, the enactment of RA 9522 is a vital step in safeguarding the Philippines' maritime zones and is consistent with the Constitution and national interest. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.